Success, it's a word that sparks ambition, desire, and sometimes even envy. But what does it really take to achieve lasting success? Is it wealth, status, or power? Or is there something deeper, something that few people ever truly understand? Nearly 2,500 years ago, in the heart of ancient Babylon, a young man named Daniel rose to prominence in one of the most powerful empires in history. But Daniel's success was built on manipulation, compromise, or luck. It was grounded in principles so profound that they've stood the test of time, principles that, if followed, can transform how we approach success today. Daniel's story is not just an inspiring tale. It's a blueprint for achieving success that goes beyond wealth and recognition. It's about living a life of purpose, integrity, and resilience, even in the face of overwhelming odds. What did Daniel know that made him stand out in a world of power struggles and corruption? In this video, we'll uncover 3 timeless principles from Daniel's life principles that reveal the kind of success that cannot be bought or stolen. These ancient secrets have the power to change how you think about success and how you live your life. Get ready to dive into Daniel's hidden message and discover the knowledge that has been forgotten by many but holds the key to a success that truly lasts. The courage to stand alone. Imagine being a young captive, taken from your homeland and thrust into the heart of the most powerful empire of your time. That was Daniel's reality. Taken from Jerusalem to Babylon, Daniel found himself surrounded by a culture that was entirely foreign, one that demanded total conformity. Yet, from the very beginning, Daniel made a decision that would define his life. He chose to stand alone. One of the earliest tests of Daniel's character came when he was offered food and wine from the king's table. To most, this would seem like an rare privilege to enjoy the finest delicacies of the empire. But for Daniel, it was a moment of profound moral clarity. The food, likely offered to idols, violated the dietary laws of his faith. To eat it would mean compromising the very values that defined him. Daniel's resolve was remarkable. He could have easily justified giving in. After all, he was far from home, under immense pressure, and surrounded by peers who likely had no problem conforming. But instead of blending in, Daniel took a stand. He politely requested permission to abstain from the king's food, proposing a simple diet of vegetables and water instead. It was a bold move, one that could have cost him everything. Against all odds, Daniel's request was granted. And what happened next was astonishing. After 10 days on their modest diet, Daniel and his companions appeared healthier and stronger than those who had indulged in the royal provisions. This simple act of faithfulness set the tone for Daniel's entire life. Daniel's story teaches us an essential truth. True success begins with the courage to stand alone. In a world that often pressures us to conform, to follow trends, compromise values, or take shortcuts, standing firm in your principles can set you apart. It's not easy, and it often requires sacrifices, but it is in those moments of unwavering integrity that lasting success is built. Think about your own life. Are there areas where you're tempted to compromise to fit in or get ahead? Daniel reminds us that success rooted in integrity is far more enduring than any temporary gain. By standing alone, he not only honored his faith, but earned the respect of those around him, including the very king he served. Daniel's courage to stand alone was the foundation of his extraordinary success. It wasn't just about dietary laws. It was about a deeper principle, staying true to your values, even when it's inconvenient or risky. That's the kind of strength that leads to success that lasts. Excellence in every task. Success isn't just about standing for what you believe, it's also about how you approach the tasks you're given. One of the most remarkable things about Daniel is his relentless pursuit of excellence. Whether as a captive, an advisor in the Babylonian court, or a high-ranking official in a foreign empire, Daniel stood out not because of his ambition, but because of his exceptional character and work ethic. In the book of Daniel, we read about how he distinguished himself in the royal court. Now Daniel so distinguished himself among the administrators and the satraps by his exceptional qualities that the king planned to set him over the whole kingdom. Daniel 6:3. This wasn't luck or mere talent. Daniel's success was rooted in his dedication to every task, no matter how small or grand. Think about this for a moment. Daniel wasn't born into royalty, nor did he inherit his position. He earned it through consistent excellence. His integrity, wisdom, and diligence earned him the trust of not one, but multiple kings, Babylonian and Persian alike. Even in a culture that didn't share his faith, Daniel's work ethic made him indispensable. This lesson is as relevant today as it was in Daniel's time. How often do we approach tasks with the bare minimum effort just to get by? Daniel's story reminds us that every task, no matter how ordinary it may seem, is an opportunity to demonstrate excellence. It's not about seeking recognition, it's about building trust and showing that you can be relied upon. Excellence is contagious. When you consistently deliver your best, others notice. It opens doors, builds influence, and creates opportunities that might otherwise never come your way. For Daniel, his commitment to excellence wasn't just a professional strategy, it was an act of faith. He worked as if he were serving not just the kings of Babylon, but God himself. Daniel's pursuit of excellence extended beyond the tasks at hand. It was woven into his character. Even when his enemies plotted against him, they couldn't find fault with his work or integrity. They had to invent a charge against him, knowing they couldn't accuse him of negligence or corruption. This is the second secret to Daniel's success. No matter the circumstances, no matter who's watching, always give your best. Excellence isn't just about achieving results, it's about reflecting the kind of person you are. It builds trust, respect, and influence, qualities that pave the way for lasting success. When we commit to excellence in every task, we honor not only ourselves, but those we serve. Daniel's life shows us that the path to true success isn't paved with shortcuts, but with consistent, exceptional effort. Faith over fear. One of the most defining moments in Daniel's life, and perhaps one of the most famous stories in the Bible, takes place in a lion's den. But this moment wasn't just about miraculous deliverance. It was a testament to the power of faith over fear. It's a story that challenges us to ask, what would we risk for our beliefs? Daniel's rise to prominence in the Persian Empire came with its challenges. His exceptional qualities and integrity earned him favor with King Darius, but it also stirred jealousy among his peers. In an attempt to destroy him, they devised a plan. They convinced the king to issue a decree forbidding prayer to any god or human except the king himself for 30 days. Anyone who disobeyed would be thrown into a den of lions. Faced with this impossible choice compromise, his faith or face certain death, Daniel didn't hesitate. He chose faith. He went to his room, opened the windows toward Jerusalem, and prayed 3 times a day, just as he always had. He knew the consequences, but his trust in God was greater than his fear of man. Daniel's actions were not an act of defiance for its own sake. They were an act of devotion. His faith wasn't just a belief, it was a way of life. And when he was arrested and thrown into the lion's den, his faith didn't waver. He trusted that God was in control, no matter the outcome. The result? God sent an angel to shut the mouths of the lions, and Daniel emerged unscathed. His faith didn't just save him. It became a testimony to everyone around him, including King Darius, who declared, "He is the living God, and he endures forever." This story reveals a powerful truth. Faith doesn't eliminate fear, but it gives us the strength to act in spite of it. Daniel's unwavering trust in God didn't just protect him, it inspired those who witnessed his faithfulness. In our own lives, fear often holds us back from standing up for what we believe, from taking risks, or from stepping into the unknown. But Daniel's story reminds us that when we choose faith over fear, we invite God's power into our lives. Whether the outcome is what we hope for or not, the act of trusting Him transforms us. Daniel's faith was his greatest strength, not because it guaranteed safety, but because it anchored him in something greater than the threats he faced. This is the third secret to Daniel's success. Faith over fear is the key to facing life's greatest challenges with courage and grace. No matter what you're facing today, Daniel's story invites you to trust in something greater. Faith over fear doesn't mean we won't face difficulties, it means we face them with the assurance that we're never alone. Daniel's life is more than a story of survival, it's a blueprint for success that stands the test of time. Through his courage to stand alone, his commitment to excellence, and his faith that overcame fear, Daniel reveals principles that are as relevant today as they were in ancient Babylon. True success isn't about shortcuts, compromises, or fleeting gains. It's about integrity, perseverance, and trust in something greater than ourselves. Daniel's journey challenges us to redefine what success looks like, not as something we achieve for ourselves, but as something that reflects our deepest values and faith. Daniel's hidden message is clear. Success isn't about avoiding challenges, it's about embracing them with integrity and faith. The principles he lived by can guide us today, whether we're navigating career decisions, personal struggles, or moments of doubt. We'll continue exploring timeless lessons from the Bible, uncovering stories and principles that inspire us to live with purpose, hope, and strength. Thank you for joining us on this journey.